A big hello and a very warm welcome to Brand Equity with me, Sonali Krishna. This week, we have a special treat for you as I'm joined by some of the finest filmmakers in Bollywood. They're young, cutting-edge, modern, and in a raring hurry to make good cinema in the Hindi film industry. I'm talking about the men behind Phantom Films. So joining me today on the Brand Equity set is none other than Anurag Kashyap, Vikramaditya Motwane, and Madhu Mantena. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. Truly a pleasure.
No, thank you.
So, before we kick off this very exciting discussion, tell me, what was the need to come together and form Phantom Films? Why couldn't you do it independently?
We were actually, all of us were working independently.
Yeah.
He produced Gajni, he's been working independently, and Vikas was working with UTV Spot Boy. I was doing my own thing, I had AKFPL. But the thing is, the idea was, it actually started forming when me and Vikas would develop a lot of movies that would never be greenlit, and we believed in them. And I think one of those conversations we had, and then Vikram also came along, and we were sitting and talking about, I think now the time has come for us to make a company, because we can't just go around always convincing people that there's a kind of cinema we make.
Right, right. And
but also see the film production business, if you see it over a period of time, any production company has three problems. One of the first problems is how do you build an independent brand for a film production company? If you ask most people who produce Godfather, even if it's their favorite film, they would never know the producer's name, or they would never know the company that produced it. And the second problem is that how do you build a sustainable business, right? How do you, if you see most balance sheets of film production companies, you see 200 crores in 1 year and the next year is about 50 crores. It's never sustainable.
right.
And then how do you build scale beyond? So most film production companies, once they reach their 100, 150 crores, they kind of start stagnating, and they're not able to scale up from there.
Sure.
And in my experience and in all of our experience, we've seen Ram Gopal Verma trying to do a company called Factory, and I was fortunate enough to work with him at that time. We closely saw what Yash Raj was doing. So first on the brand side, that you know what Spielberg produces.
Yeah.
You know what Karan Johar produces.
Sure.
So you know what Anurag Kashyap produces.
Yeah.
So we felt that if it's a director-led company, we would be able to build a brand faster,
Right.
which has an identity of its own. Because finally, as producers or a production company, you're also curating.
Right.
You're saying, okay, these are the kind of films that we want to make. So you're trying to say that we stand for a certain kind of quality cinema.
Right.
And we've seen that we've been able to build a brand over the last 3 years,
Yeah.
which is a difficult thing in production companies.
Just correct me if I'm wrong. See, he talked about the fact that everybody knows that, Spielberg's kind of cinema.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
knows Karan Johar's kind of cinema.
Yeah.
But you say Dharma, and it's synonymous with Karan, right?
Yes.
Similarly, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in this creative space, the egos are very fragile
Yes.
in the creative industry. So why wouldn't, for instance, Vikramaditya want to be a brand by himself? And you be a brand by yourself? Why would you want to come together and dilute that? And this is my question.
See, I already was being treated like a brand, and I was not very comfortable with the idea of it, in the sense, because I want to create a kind of a work and not be an individual entity always. Because the big problem, what happens is, when the company was called, I had a separate company called Anurag Kashyap Films.
Yeah.
And all the films I would produce, for example, Vikramaditya Udan came out, till they did not see the film, before the film came out and everybody saw it, and by the year end when the film won awards, half the people were thinking I've directed the film. See, that's the flip side of it.
Yeah.
Everybody started thinking it's Anurag Kashyap who's directed the film. It might help my brand, but it also was somewhere not being fair to the filmmakers. And as a filmmaker, as a director, I know that how a filmmaker makes a film and how it is important for him to have that creative space and freedom. If AKFPL would have continued as my name, all the directors would come in, they make the films, and after a while they will feel like they're all in the shadow, and they would all move out, and they'll all go out to create their own brands. When there's a larger brand like Phantom, and it's about the movies, it's about all the directors, what happens is people coming there, they don't want to leave. All the directors, we've got some amazing directors who have got their films produced outside, who want to work with us, because it's a larger umbrella thing, and everybody has their own independent identity.
When we started off, I remember it was that if we can be like Pixar, where it doesn't really matter whether it's John Lasseter or Andrew Stanton, doesn't matter. I know those names and the world knows those names, but Pixar as a brand, there's a trust that you have with that company to sort of, you know that they're going to deliver good films summer after summer to you. And I think the idea is that, yes, we may be brands, but coming together, we'll just make better movies. And those better movies will help Phantom make,
it's also better movies, and there's such critical point of view we have towards each other.
Let me just go back to what you said in the beginning of the discussion. You said, the whole thought of, getting Phantom on was because a lot of your scripts were not getting lit, because they were not, traditionally what we know as Bollywood. Do you think in your 3 years of your journey so far, you have seen some progress?
There's a lot of progress. Yeah, from the industry point of view, I think there's been a lot of progress. There is a kind of cinema that we had to fight for at one time. It kind of coexists today. The mainstream is still the mainstream is still the end all of Bollywood, but that mainstream is changing.
Are you sure?
100%. We made Queen, and Queen, before releasing and after releasing. Before releasing, it was not perceived to be a mainstream movie, but it redefines the mainstream. Bombay Lot has existed since 2006. It was very difficult to find money for the film for years. And now finding money for it and making it and realizing it with the intent of it staying intact. And it's not like you're doing some other kind of a movie. We are redefining Bollywood. The film has songs, the film has entertainment, the film has a love story, the film has all those things. But the way you look at it is very different. It's more universal. It's more believable. It's not a world that you have to understand Bollywood to believe it.
If you look at Bollywood in 2014, for instance, right, and you look at the kind of films that have,
not worked.
No, I'm saying grossed really big on at the box office. Does that tell you something about the Indian sensibilities in terms of just the audience? Do you think the audience is so okay looking at the traditional, conventional masala Bollywood film, which is why filmmakers broadly, I'm not speaking about you in specific, would like to dish out the same kind of, cinema, which is, just escapist cinema.
I understand what you're saying, but there are two ways of looking at it. One thing is, the Bollywood masala is our actual original identity.
Okay.
That's our identity. That is not going to go away.
Okay.
But producers also come from the point of view that, okay, this has worked. They come from a reference point. So what do they think this has worked? They blindly copy it. They find a formula, they blindly copy it. Those producers will slowly fall on the wayside because, you have seen the films last 3-4 months. People are not even going there, not even entertaining them. But what is happening is that certain people, that kind of cinema also gets associated with where people actually would go and buy it. Like say, for example, a Salman Khan.
Okay.
When he's part of that cinema, they know that they're not going in there for anything but an experience.
Absolutely.
So when everyone starts replicating it, it doesn't work sometimes. Right? And that space, when that is not working.
I'm so glad you brought that in. So, a Salman Khan film, whatever he does, right, will always work, and his audience wants that.
He's carrying it. He's the script.
And he's
the screenplay.
And he's quite very clear about that. That's the brand he stands for, right? And
Correct.
he doesn't try to be anything else.
Correct.
But if you look at, let's say, Bang Bang, okay, or Happy Ending, for that matter, right? These are not Salman Khan movies, yet they did so well at the box office. And I don't know about the figures because there are so many figures going on. They're also very big budget films, for instance, like at least Bang Bang is. But are these really do you think this kind of cinema is defining Bollywood?
No, I'll tell you one thing about this is because most of the movies that are working from Friday to a Sunday.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That means one thing. That means audience wants an action movie. For me, a Bang Bang succeeds. What my takeaway is, audience wants an action movie.
Did you see it?
Huh? I did not see it.
Did you see it? Did you see it? No. None of you Phantom men have seen it.
After Bang Bang's opening and response, the one thing that we all discuss inside, let's make a good kick-ass action movie in India because India needs good action movies.
And also, I mean, the industry is going through huge growth when it comes to theatrical, right? All the conversations that we had 7 years back about multiplexes catching on, the digital revolution. We're releasing 4,000 screens. When 3 Idiots released, it released in about 1,500 screens. And so I'm just saying, we are on a boom. The industry is going through a boom. Right. 10 years back, we were making films for $2 million, and now we're making films for $20 million.
Sure.
right?
But you're not seeing that kind of return.
You are seeing, I don't think we're hitting our potential.
We're not getting our box office potential, we're not getting our story potential. I think the audience is looking out to be genuine. They're going to walk in there for 3 hours, 3.5 hours today, sometimes 4 hours, depending on programming. You want, sort of bang for your buck. And I don't think the movie's delivered to a certain point, but not really. I haven't, there's not been a single film where everybody's kind of like push people to say, go to the theatre, you have to watch it in the movies, you have to watch it in the theatre.
So you're saying the number of people who go to watch a movie has remained static?
No, it has gone up.
It has gone up.
It has gone up. It has gone up.
See,
but the number of people, so let's say about 6-7 years back, the average number of films that people used to watch in a year was 4. It's gone up to 8.
Okay, double.
Yeah, it has doubled even in terms of consumption because the plexes are better, they give you a better environment. And the malls have brought in this phenomena where on a Saturday, Sunday, you go to a mall, do a little bit of window shopping, you eat in the food and then you also watch a film. But there is a danger in that. The danger in that is because you're consuming films along with so many other things, your tolerance for them is better. Other than a pull,
Fair
right?
enough.
Yeah, because as a family,
sort of
you're doing three
experience.
things. You're
Fair
doing
enough.
3 things.
Yeah,
So,
very well put.
which kind of is actually affecting the industry because we are thinking, oh, we're doing 200 crores, but listen, you're not performing. You have it safer because you have these. You have moved from
Nobody's
being
really
build
pushing.
films into just a weekend, which kind of makes the business houses like us a lot more secure because you're marketing it for 30 crores, you're taking a large box office number. But does it mean that we're achieving what we are? I don't think so.
Okay.
So like one of the things that we really want to try and do this year is try and focus on 2 genres and build a sustainable pipeline in 2 genres. One is that we're doing something in horror.
Yeah.
With Jason Blum.
With Jason Blum, who's
that
one
partnership
of
with
the who's one of the best horror filmmakers.
He's created one of the best studios, and his model there, the way he's.
But what is this partnership really? I mean, why would you partner with him? Why
it's a collaborative effort.
It's a collaborative effort, and it's a fully funded kind of a deal where we make these horror movies, and he has kind of reinvented the horror genre all by himself, and by interacting with all the directors. So any good director who has a great horror script, that they could just come straight to him. They don't go anywhere else. So he doesn't even have to step out to find these people. They were walking into him. He's created that kind of an impact, and and we hope to learn also with this interaction. And we tend to make horror movies. We have, I think that in India.
Ram Gopal Verma kind of horror.
I'm saying we want to go much more universal and international. We want to tell the newer horror stories. Because in Indian horror, we have been seeing the same scary ghost for years.
In between the songs. In between 2 songs. In between 2 songs.
I think it's 2 things. I think one is about reinventing horror in India, because I think that the last year we saw a film like The Conjuring did a lot of business over here. It's very heartening to sort of see the fact that the audience is there to go see the genuine horror movies.
Sure.
Also, if our horror can travel abroad, Jason Blum gives us such an avenue to actually sort of take that
travel
movie.
abroad, but it'll be a Hindi film, right?
Yeah, but it does matter. But we have been exploring the non-diaspora market with our small movies. We have like Vasipus coming out in January. With Lunchbox, there's so much business that we're releasing worldwide, and that non-diaspora audience kind of has started to trust us with the product.
What's the other
Action.
Yeah, which is why we were speaking about it. Yeah. So both of these, we're very focused on them, and so we want to put a pipeline of horror and action films.
So give me a sense, considering we're like churning out so many films, so our volume has really gone up. How would you, all 3 of you, one by one, critique the quality of Indian cinema?
Everything that I believe is not going to function is actually not functioning. The thing is, like,
what do you mean by that?
I'm saying because people are finding very safer formulas and they're latching themselves onto it. We are going through a phase of very lazy creativity on a larger level.
Absolutely.
Where what is happening is everybody's found a formula. They know that this South Indian kind of masala, it'll sell easily, it'll work. And stars also believe this will make them the next Salman Khan. Everybody kind of jumps on the bandwagon. Nobody works on the creative aspect of it, and it bombs. And there's too much of it. So when there's too much of something, they would rather go back to the original. right? And they're not going to see a film if every Friday a film is coming out which is a copy of the film last Friday, right? So we are not really working on those things, and everybody's playing safe. So what is happening is this 100 crores has become so dominating that they're thinking from the point of view, will this film make 100 crores? Will this film make 100 crores? It's not starting with a script. It's not beginning with an idea. The way it should happen, that I have a script, let's evaluate what it will do and work backwards.
Sure.
And which is what we have been practicing for a long time and maximizing it. Right? They're working backward. They're just thinking. So easy way to do it is buy a film that's already done that kind of money in some other language and remake it. So there's a lazy creativity going on. So why I'm very positive and hopeful is, when a film comes out with content and starts working, and when it happens twice, thrice in a row, and the big films that are expected to do well, which is tracking well, which every trade believes is going to do the numbers and doesn't do the numbers, then what happens is everybody will see where we need to go. So I'm very positive about it. And I just saw it. I saw the result of it. 3-4 films that were expected to do very well by the trade.
Which ones?
I think last The Happy Ending was there. Then there was this Action Jackson. It was expected to do very well.
Yeah.
But you have to read the trade reviews. The trade that predicted is going to be an incredibly big blockbuster said, we don't understand the audience mood swing. They think the audience is moody is why. So I'm saying they don't know what to say. They don't know what to say. So it was written big letters in the trade magazine. I was laughing. I said, this is what is going to happen, which is good for the industry because eventually we will do what we need to do, because at the end of the day we are human beings and we have a strong survival instinct.
The thing that we haven't done as an industry over the last 10 years is we haven't taken the extra money that we've got into making bigger, better and more unique stories, which is what we're trying to do with Bombay Velvet.
Yeah.
Bombay Velvet is a $20 million film, and when you go and see the film, you'll say, who makes films in India like this? It looks like, our foreign studio thinks films like this should be made in $40-50 million films.
Realistically speaking, and if you're candid about, the Indian audience, do you think their tastes over the years or over the decades is still pretty unsophisticated?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think they both coexist. See, there are many Indias. I firmly believe in one thing, there are many Indias.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I'm making a film, I know that I'm not trying to target that what everybody says, the rickshaw wala tak film pahunchni chahiye. I said I might not reach the rickshaw wala or the taxi wala, but I'll reach the guy who's riding in it.
Yeah.
My thing is, there are many Indias that coexist. And the biggest problem that we have is when we try to cater to all those Indias together is when we fail.
Right.
Is when we fail. I'm saying you have to be very clear. You have to begin with an idea, with a script, and trying to maximize it. I'm saying, what is it that a Raju Hilani film is? It's a good Bollywood film. It's a good masala film. That is what our identity is. That is what we used to do by the dozens years ago. But today he's doing it. Others are not doing it. Others are just, he's still reinventing. He'll do one idea and next film, you'll see completely new thing that he's trying to explore.
Sure.
So I'm saying he is the good Bollywood. He's a good masala. He's also masala. He entertains. There's songs. He makes you laugh. There are comic skits. There's always this thing like, there's always, in this movie there's a wrong number. So I'm saying there's somebody who's working on those things. But that's what we expect from most filmmakers. The filmmakers are not delivering.
So who are you catering to as Phantom?
It depends on the movie. Different movies are catering to different people.
Okay.
I'm saying an ugly might have a shorter range in terms of who it is catering to.
Yeah.
But Bombay Velvet will have a larger range to who it might be catering to.
If I had to ask you to look internationally and look at one such model which you'd really like to emulate and become like that in India, what would it be?
See,
For me, it's Pixar, like I said in the beginning. It's the trust that, one talks about, like how a star has trust in them. I think that if one can have, let's say, Phantom in the next 2-3 years, there's a blind trust in Phantom. The Phantom film, we want people to just go see it, whether they've seen the trailer or not.
If you look at the superstars of Bollywood, and you know who I'm talking about, do you think somewhere,
No, actually we don't. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you. So I'm talking really about, let's say, Amir, Salman, Shah Rukh, Hrithik, the top billable stars, really. So barring, let's say, Amir Khan, who's at least attempting, right? Yeah. Do you think these actors, simply because of the kind of trust and the kind of, crowd pullers they are, for whatever they dish out, good, bad, ugly.
Right now, they're only catering to the image they have. Right now, they're only catering to the fan. Barring an Amir Khan, nobody's even attempting.
Right. No. So my question
and
is...
Ranbir.
Yeah. No, Ranbir, I'm not even counting in this league, in the next generation. So I'm saying Akshay Kumar, all these guys. No, I'm saying, look, given the kind of, they're crowd pullers, right?
Yeah,
So somebody casts them, they're crowd pullers. Given the fact that they are such big stars, do you think somewhere they're shirking off the responsibility of not pushing the envelope and not trying to, attempt cinema that can be slightly more path-breaking?
They are not. I'm saying, what happens is, they also have this big fear of losing what they have.
Right.
I think barring an Amir Khan who's actually earned it by working for it.
Sure, that's true.
Everybody got it. And what happens is, you see an association of, say, Akshay Kumar with a Neeraj Pandey. That association, I'm saying these directors will also go out and be adventurous when they form trust with a certain director. I'm saying Akshay Kumar has found trust with Neeraj Pandey. So everything that is non-Akshay Kumar that he's doing, he's found a Neeraj Pandey to do it with. So I'm saying it depends entirely on a sense of security that they get. Right now, everybody is kind of insecure. And the numbers are so playing in their mind, they want to outdo that. So that kind of governs the decision.
Do you think the women are being more experimental than men?
The women always will be more experimental than men because the thing is, in this country, it's patriarchal country,
sure,
they always expect the heroes to be like that, so spotlight is on them. With women, the spotlight comes with the experiment.
That's true.
It comes with their experiment.
Yeah.
Vidya is known because of the risk that she started taking.
Yeah.
Or Kangana, or like today, Priyanka has her own identity with Mary Kom.
Sure.
Before that, she was a top heroine for people who was trying to do things. But it's the nature of the country that we are in.
So you're doing horror action and you're trying to get into like TV shows?
Yeah,
TV shows.
we're premium television. We're doing something.
Premium television?
Yeah.
Meaning?
Not the daily soaps, but weekend premium content. Which
like a 24? And,
similar. It doesn't need to be a 24. It could be even.
It could be a comedy show. It could be anything.
It could be anything. Okay.
Could be anything,
but not the daily soap opera. But again, the same principle, right? High-end content.
Okay, so you're in talks with broadcasters.
Yes, that's right.
All of that. But this will come from the Phantom stable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. On that note, thank you so much, Vikram, Anurag, and Madhu. This was truly very insightful, and thank you very much for coming all the way and joining us on Brand
Equity. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
On that note, we come to the end of this edition of Brand Equity. We hope you enjoyed this special show. To take the time and drop us a line at brandequity@etnow.tv, or alternatively log on to our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/brandequity, and give us your feedback. You could do the same on Twitter @Brand Equity Live. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, ciao, ciao.